What is good, y'all? You know exactly what time it is right now. Let's run it back. So it starts off, beautiful weekend, Key West, Florida. We go diving, me and the boys. The goal, free dive some big black grouper, okay? So we're in about 75 feet of water. It's crystal clear. I'm getting my gear together on the boat, and one of my buddies who's already in the water yells over, there's a big black grouper under the boat. So I'm freaking out, put my gear on. As soon as I jump in, I can see it on the bottom. You can't see it here in the GoPro footage, but he's down there. And my heart is pounding. I'm freaking out. I'm having a heart attack. Can barely catch my breath. And I'm not a professional freediver, so going 75 feet with a heart attack is not an easy thing to do. So I manage what I can. I muster up what I can, and I make a dive. And luckily for me, this grouper is on the dumber end of groupers that I see. So that is working in my favor. So there you see it. Blasted that sucker. That's a big fish. He tries to go up into this little coral head. Has no luck, thank God. That would have been not fun to get him out of there with a heart attack again. And I am making my way up. Very hungry for air at this point. I remember vividly. But make it to the top. And this is my boy Patrick. Shout out Patrick. He is a real one, helping me pull this thing off the bottom. It's a little snagged on a coral head here, but luckily because this spot has such low relief, and by low relief I mean the rocks are very small. They don't come up very high, so there's not a lot of crazy holes for these black groupers to go in after you spear them. So that is working in my favor. And sure enough, after a little bit of tugging on this thing, he manages to get loose, and we pull this thing up. And I think this was the first fish of the day, and a beauty at that.
Oh, da da da, what's my name? Oh, da da da, what's my name? What's my name? Shoot one of them, blast that, Keenan.
So that was my buddy Keenan. He was pretty new to spearfishing on this trip, and he had really never seen big fish like this at the time. So he saw this big kingfish swimming around, and he was like, dude, should I shoot that thing? And I was like, hell yeah, go shoot that thing.
Yeah. You got a picture of me, Cody? That king's 45 pounds. Show. Yeah, thank you, guys. What happened? Joey, you were in the water like 5 minutes before me. You had a shot. Come on. Grab him, Code. There's more. Nice ones. Yeah. I saw a few.
Same size?
No. Half.
Live?
Yeah. You want to grab him?
Yeah, so I was using my buddy Jared's gun there because it had 3 bands on it, which gives it a little bit more power, a little bit more range. And of course, the first fish I shoot bends the crap out of it, and I owe Jared some money after that one. All right, next clip here. This is about 10 minutes later after the first fish. I swapped out guns. I got my spear gun now. This one has 2 bands on it. But that's irrelevant. What's relevant is this clip. So I want to preface this by saying, when spearfishing, especially when spearfishing in Florida, you deal with sharks. Now, specifically for this situation, I shoot this grouper right next to a shark. I was very confident with my shot. I really thought that I was going to be able to shoot him in the head and kill him, shoot him in the brain. But unfortunately, I missed by a couple millimeters, and he did not die. He freaked out. The sharks realized what was going on, and they ate the fish. In no way, shape, or form were my intentions to feed the shark, but that's what happened. I regret the decision. I really wish that I could have eaten the fish instead of the sharks, but at the end of the day, the fish wasn't wasted. The sharks got to eat the fish, and I learned a lesson in the process. It was right about at this moment that I realized I messed up. And I know there's probably some guy out there who's been spearfishing twice in his whole life, and his Instagram bio says thanks but no tanks, is probably thinking, why didn't you just swim up to the fish and grab it? And I'll tell you what, that's a great idea. But it's a lot easier said than done, especially when you're sitting behind your computer watching this from Canada, Craig.
Yo, this is... Somebody come here.
So now, as a punishment for my actions, I have Craig from Canada mad at me, I have Cody yelling at me on the boat, and I have a angry bull shark with a grouper in his mouth with the spear still inside of it so he can't fully swallow the grouper's head, towing me through the ocean as I'm holding onto my gun for dear life. So believe me, I promise you I do wish that this situation played out differently.
This thing's gonna fucking drown me, bro. They got his face stuck in his mouth.
Right about here, the shark was able to rip the grouper's head off of the spear, and I got my spear back. It was pretty mangled, but I was just happy that he didn't, take the spear and take all my reel line and drown me in the process or take my gun. So that was a win. But needless to say, we stopped diving this spot after this fish and we moved. But my morale was pretty low and I stopped filming for the rest of the day. But the following day, I went out with my buddy Kanan, who you guys probably remember from a previous video, and I got another awesome clip of me spearing another big grouper in the shallows. So keep watching, another cool clip coming up. Better?
Those things remind me of a couple of feeds. Oh yeah. That's so sick. That's so cool. I'm done. I literally am done. I have no more spears. I shot him as good as you could shoot him without stoning him. I don't know how the f he didn't die right when I shot him. And I shot him so good they couldn't rip him off the spear, so they just took me to fucking Narnia with the spear, and I'm just dragging onto him for fucking ever. Fucking sick. I wanted to powerhead one. That's all I got now.
How many blocks are left?
Like 6.
You shot the biggest one?
Yep.
How big was that?
26 pounds.
Alright. Back up and I guess.
Yeah! Shot a big black. that other gun. Throw me that other gun. Quick, Bob. He's about to come off. Throw it.
So this video is actually super special to me because this structure that you guys see here is an old Navy tower that used to be in the Keys, and it fell over in a hurricane. That's why it's completely submerged underwater. And 2 days after this video of this grouper, the Navy actually came back and removed the tower. It's no longer there. It's not a spot anymore. And I had actually dove this spot countless times, dozens of times, and I had never, ever, ever shot a grouper at this spot this big. So being able to spear this fish here this day, right before they took the tower out, was just like a miracle, and it is something that I will never, ever forget. Because the grouper swam underneath the tower and is still attached to the other spear, it was a whole cluster trying to get him out. I had to get the other spear out of him first before I could actually pull him up and put him in the boat, because he's kind of still attached to the tower here by that spear. He went about 40 pounds. I think he went 40 pounds exactly. And for 35, 40 feet of water, free diving in the Keys, that's a fish of a lifetime. That, you know, not many people can say that they've done that, and that is something that I truly will cherish for a long time, and really am grateful to this fish and think about it all the time, still to this day.
Can you get a picture of me real quick? That was epic, dude. Let's go. Like one of my biggest blacks freediving in the Keys for sure. It's in the dry box. Thank you. Still gotta head back to the tower.
I also want to give a quick shout out to everybody who has subscribed, liked, reached out, commented, hit me up on Instagram, and, you know, telling me that you guys are liking the content. It means the world to me, and it is motivating me more than you know to keep pumping this stuff out. So please, if you like this, like and subscribe. And remember, I love you. Tune in again next week for another one.